Alrighty, Jerry was a race car driver. So one thing I want to point out about this riff is it's not the tapped chords with the right hand. Those are not played at the same place every time. So on the album version, that's going to be at G17 and C18, and then up a whole step. Now, other versions of this, such as like the live performances around the early 90s, like Spring Break, Dennis Miller, or some other ones, Woodstock, it's not there. It is up half a step. So yeah, up half a step makes it sound like this. But in later performances, such as Outside Lands, I think from 08, the chord is actually lower. It is down half a step, so starting at like a G16, C17, and then up a whole step again. And so that would sound kind of like this. So the reason I'm explaining this is because playing it lower, then you can play the song on a 4-string, so long as you have 24 frets. I would recommend at least a 5-string for this, just because there's a fill here. And it's definitely possible to play the song on a fretted and still have it sound good. I know he did that once at the Brown album era. I think it's in Germany. It's the one where everyone says he looks like Edward Norton. So yeah, in that one he's playing Jerry on a fretted as well as Mud. So then the YouTube channel Insane Death Machine, I'm pretty sure he covered Jerry on a fretted, if I'm remembering correctly. He had frets on it, and he did a killer job. But anyway, our main riff is going to go something like this. Okay, just slow that down. So one important thing to point out is when Les plays this, his thumb is resting on the E string, and I find that makes this song easier to play for a few reasons. So number one, you're muting B and E, so they're not ringing out. Just the 4 strings here are the only open ones that you're tapping on. Second reason is it serves as a rail, and so your hand's not going anywhere this way. And that rail is going to be helpful during the slide fill. And the third reason is, well, for me at least, it just makes it easier to play. I'm not really sure why that is. It just feels easier to tap with the right hand, perhaps because the string is round and your thumb's kind of, rolling on it. Okay, first note is the chord tap here at G17, C18, and then tap A11 with the middle finger, pull off to 10. Okay, next part, tap again up a full step, and then the 3 notes after that are with your pinky, tap A13, then pull off to 11, then 10 again. So using all fingers here except for the ring. So you might have to move your hand a little bit to hit that 13. I mean, I kind of do, if you're like me and your pinky goes this direction. So this riff has it's like a 16th note feel. Just so everything so far just kind of flows like one note after another with no gaps. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're trying to get the feel of this one down. So far we have. Okay. So next we're just going to be tapping at 17 again, and kind of alternate with your hands here to, with your left hand, mute the strings, like kind of staccato chords here. Okay, and up next is just on the D string, tap on, well, of course it's tab, 10, 11, 13. So because it's a hammer-on, luckily you can do the kind of rolling thing. It's easier to do than the I think. You know, I don't really tap with my pinky too often, so that's a little more difficult, I find. So the intro, you know, the main riff comes in, and then the fill when the rest of the band comes in is a slide up here to D14. So yeah, so that's close, but you could also, if you want some extra power behind that, play it at like A19. So there's another fill in this song, and it's like instead of the first note being a, we're going to be around 12, 13, 14, that region, I think. Tap and slide up as one motion. You know, using the E string as a rail here. Up into the 19. As you're doing that though, as you're sliding up, don't forget the in there. To play that slowly a few times. But in most performances I've seen of this live, that slide is not so low here. It's higher. Okay, now for the chorus. Whoops. Okay, to play that slower. So the first part of this chorus riff is you know, nearly identical to the main riff, same, you know, feel and everything, except we're not tapping at 17 at all. All the taps are up here at 19. So that's the same, but instead of ending with a, we're going to end with a. So using your ring finger, we're tapping on D and G13, sliding down. That took me a while to get down. It's kind of difficult, but if you're not really used to doing that, maybe use 2 fingers here. Go! Okay, to play that again, but slower. Okay, to break this down, we start with an open E slap, and then tap on 3, pull off to 2. Okay, and then another open E slap to 5, 4, 3. And then okay, and on the way up to the strumming part, as you're moving your left hand up, be sure to mute the lower strings on the way up. Okay, so this chord strumming part. So the first of those is a muted strum. That's the harmonic. Strum down on the, you know, high 2 strings. The next 3 notes are 12, 13, and 15. So I've seen Les do this live before, like strumming all 4 of those notes. So, whoops. That's what I find easier to do is to just do a hammer-on in there. So you're strumming once down for, and and on the strum up, and then so you have that kind of you know, more powerful downward strum for the 15 here. So that's going to play 3 times, and the 4th time we have this so just 1 slap after that. We strum up here at 15. So then we have another one of those. So this fill here is the open E slap, let that ring. And for the Seas of Cheese version, what it sounds like to me, I think it's B2-3. I've seen tabs of it as 3-4, and I think some people cover it that way, but it's that 3-4. I think it's 2-3, that's just my ears anyway. And if you really want to be less Claypool, then slap that on the neck, on the B string here, with your arm going out pretty far, Louis Johnson style. He's fond of doing that. And then another one of those ending with a into a. And then we're into the guitar solo, where the main riff is going to continue with you know, that slide fill described earlier. That's in there, and I think there might be the other fill in there as well. Maybe the one that's, you know, where it ends with a D14. And then we're into another chorus, and then after that, you know, the verse riff comes back in with more of that slide fill. You know, for the final verses, and then we're back into the breakdown. So the first 3 times with that, you know, end with the, and then the 4th time we have another, and then another, then after that we have a, you know, start at 15 and slide down after the, and the final time, well, not the final time, but just before the nightmare part, we have the slide up to E16. So now we're at the part. As far as live versions go, I think he moves it like around the neck, but kind of like that. But as far as the album version goes, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. It sounds kind of like a to me, so maybe like a repeated, like ascending thing around here. Maybe something like that. But anyway, what I'm pretty sure he's doing with his right hand, and what I'm going off here is Spring Break 92 during the performance of Jerry and that. So towards the end when he's doing that, the camera does get pretty close to his right hand, kind of an angle where you can kind of see what's going on. So it's kind of like, you know, this, like the Italian thing. With your fingers kind of curved like this. Forming this bar chord shape, so you know, like 15-15, 12-12 on the G and C strings, with your thumb behind your fingers just for like a little bit more stability. So you kind of have to have short fingernails to play this, and it's kind of like almost like pecking the neckboard. But something you could kind of do instead, if that's I think maybe an alternative here, is to, I mean, using your 2 fingers, same thing, but with your hand open, and instead of your fingers bent this way, as he's doing it, bent the other way, and you're kind of using your whole arm to like punch down. Well, you know, tap and punch down. Ending that part with a slide on the E string. It's like 2, 3, something like that, up to 16 again. Well, that was 15, but. And then back into the breakdown riff for 3.5 times, and that's about it. There you go. Joe is a risker driver.